What's up, everybody? Carson here, Glasshouse Films Midnight Reviews, flying solo once again, starting to become kind of a regular occurrence. This week I have decided not to go see How to Train Your Dragon 3. If you want to know why, just watch my How to Train Your Dragon 2 review. Not much has changed since then. Anyway, this week is Fighting With My Family, a very small, I'm kind of guessing independent British film about a family of people who are really invested in wrestling, and two of the kids of the family decide to try out to be wrestlers, and we'll see what happens. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a producer on this one, and he features pretty prominently, so that's always a nice thing. Truth be told, I am not much into wrestling myself. Nothing wrong with it, just not my preferred art form. But I can appreciate the hard work and dedication it takes to put on a great show, and I'm really interested in seeing kind of the background of that in this film, much like Glow kind of does that. So I'm fascinated in that aspect of the film in particular. Written and directed by Stephen Merchant, so it's probably going to be at least slanted comedy. And Nick Frost is in it too, so that's pretty nice. I do like him. But anyway, not walking in with super high expectations. I just hope I'm entertained. That's pretty much it. See you on the flip side, y'all.
Really want to choke her out in a lot of fingers?
Yeah.
Now pull it tight. Oh, yeah. Now she's in trouble.
I just want to reiterate this, but it's funny, I don't think I have to, but I'm gonna reiterate it anyway. I am not a wrestling guy. It's just, again, it's not my preferred preferred method of storytelling. That's fine. But what I do actually respect a lot about it is the fact that a lot of people do love it. And something that I've noticed, I happen to follow a lot of people who are really big fans of wrestling, and they share these incredible gifts of like death-defying stunts, the likes of which I'm like, you're doing this live, telling a story, and putting on a hell of a show. This is incredible. Again, I can't exactly pinpoint what it is that kind of keeps me at arm's reach, but respect the hell out of it. I think it's really, really cool. So when you take all of that and you put it in movie format, that becomes a little bit easier to digest for me. So I'm like, okay, you kind of have me to lose at this point. And this movie does just that. I was very interested in I was interested in moments that this movie brought up, so I'll circle back around to that. Again, this is about the wrestler Paige. I misplaced her real name. She's youngest Divas World Champion, and ushered in the new women's revolution in wrestling. That would have been really cool to see, but it doesn't happen in this film. It just goes over her first WWE match. I would have to say this movie's biggest issue is structure. It's really weird, but its biggest issue is structure, because I'm watching and I'm like, okay, it's going a little bit slow, but maybe it's going to start stretching its legs in the second act, you know? She signed up to do NXT. She's going to start training in Florida. All right, we're starting to get into it. And then it's just, nope. And the thing is you've seen this kind of structure to a million other things. The one that actually came to memory for me, because it involved a lot of working out, was not a lot of working out. It was a particular image of someone like crawling through the sand. Remind me of Stripes. I'm like, just do Stripes. But with wrestling, you could easily make that work. But the thing is it's like, okay, we're out of Act 1, we're into Act 2, all right. She's gonna start learning how to wrestle. She's like, all these other girls who are here, they're just models and dancers and cheerleaders. And it's like, okay, yeah, they are, but an interesting story would be if you taught them how to wrestle. If you know, Vince Vaughn sees that in you and goes, hey, you know, instead of giving this girl receipts, that's what they refer to it as, if you mess up a move, someone gets a free hit in on you, is basically what that means. He could have looked at it and been like, hey, that's the kind of gumption we need in this. This is going to start, this women's revolution with wrestling, because beforehand it was models and dancers and women who looked really good in skimpy bikinis parading around a ring, instead of really the wrestling apparently was still really good, but it focused on the wrong thing, and now it's really focused on the wrestling, not just here's the moment where men can jerk off for a few minutes. And so it's like, that's cool. That's something I want to see. I want to see that come into fruition. But it doesn't. And then the structure, like, okay, this moment needs to happen end of Act 2 into Act 3. Act 3 needs to be this. And the thing is it could have used a well-placed montage, but it didn't get there. There's no interesting characters to this thing. I mean, Nick Frost, woo, he's not really given a lot to do. Lena Headey, love her, she's not really given a lot to do. Her brother doesn't have a lot to do. She doesn't actually have a lot to do. I have not come out of this film knowing who Paige is as a character. And that's a real issue. But character means a lot to me in film, but you can strip that away if you have a really good structure around it. The structure exists for a reason. It's because it works. Just take this thing, wrestling, and put it into this structure. And boom, you've got something that works. And it doesn't. Imagine this, if you've ever seen the movie Major League. If the moment where they're talking about how everyone is down and out goes on for a really long time, you follow Tom Berenger in Mexico for 20 odd minutes, then everyone kind of gets called up, but then you have none of the fun montages. You don't understand any of these fun characters and like the one thing they can't do, like the fact that, the one guy, he can hit a fastball, but he can't hit anything else. How Willie Mays Hayes is really fast, but he's kind of a show-off. How, there's all these things. It's like, okay, that's one character. That's one character. That's one character. I get their one thing, and they're great at it. This movie doesn't have that, but it also doesn't replace it with, okay, this is Paige the character. We're going to go through her journey. I don't care about her journey. And at no point it's like, she makes a lot of wrong assumptions in this film, but at no point do you get the cathartic moment of like, you know what? I was wrong. Let me teach you what I know, and let me learn from you what you know, so I can make my wrestling better. And it's just so many things that really makes me go like, okay, has Stephen Merchant ever watched wrestling? Does he know what's interesting about it? Because you don't have a lot of fights in the movie. You have maybe four or five-ish, and that's kind of it. And they're not great. They're like 2 minutes and it's over. And it's not particularly well shot. It's just, okay, that's how you shoot it, I guess. There's nothing to it that really stands out. And the thing is there's a great story to be told here. There's a really fun, you can either tell an important story of her bringing in this new era of women's wrestling, or you can go, hey, there's this very funny character who comes from a weird background, and she does some crazy things and she helped revolutionize wrestling. Let's tell that story. But let's tell it in a comedic way. And it doesn't do comedic, and it doesn't do this is a cool character piece. So at the end of the day, stay home and watch The Wrestler instead, to be completely honest, unfortunately. It's just not worth it. Actually, you know what? Stay home and watch No Holds Barred instead. That movie's a lot of fun, actually. Hulk Hogan can go suck dicks in hell, though. Anyway, there's nothing to it. And I'm frustrated by this thing, and it's a waste. It's a waste of time. I was checking my watch throughout the whole thing, so that's never a good sign either. So, you know what? Just skip it entirely. Go see something else. And in 2 weeks, Captain Marvel comes out. Go see that one instead. But until next time, Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/glassfilmshouse, facebook.com/glasshousefilms, and Twitter, where I'm most active, @glasshousefilms. And next week, I kind of think it's a Medea film. Uh-oh. Oh, Lord. But I will see you next week for whatever comes out. I still think it's a Medea family funeral. Anyway, bye.